What's it gonna be? Who we gonna see on episode 43 of the Village Legends podcast? We're back once again, folks. Thanks for having us. I'm Sess, that's C Flash. We're gonna give you the sports world the only way we know how, the way we do it, village style. My man, we got a lot to talk about today. The Masters is freshly over. NBA playoffs about to begin this week, with today being the last day. We got some good boxing to talk about and a little something special towards the end, my brother. Why don't you talk to the folks, say hello, tell them what we got today, brother.
Yeah, let's get right back to it, folks. VL, we're back. Congratulations, hell of a congratulations to Rory McIlroy. From what it's looking like, it's in his hands. He's clutched it, and a repeat of the Masters. He didn't even have to take that jacket off. You know what? He just added it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All he has to do is keep the same one on and put repeat on it. But Rory, hell of a golf player. I think you did a hell of a job from what we've seen. Rory, you topped off at 12 under. Scotty Scheffler, 11 under. Russell Henley, 10 under. And Cameron Young, 10 under. That's a superb performance. Hell of a performance by Rory, and you did a hell of a job. And it says since Tiger Woods. So I mean, for you to repeat,
to go back to back,
you topped one of the great ones.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Tiger Woods. I know how people might feel, but shout out to Tiger. But Rory, you now go into a conversation of, hey, are you one of the greatest, or are you the greatest golfer of all time? That's what you think.
Definitely in the conversation. I would say a lot of people thought about him as top 10 for sure before coming into this Masters. And now he's a back-to-back champion, my brother. There's names on that list. Tiger Woods. I don't think he's Tiger Woods yet.
No.
So is he the greatest of all time right then and there? I would say no. But he's definitely right behind those guys. You got Jack Nicklaus. You got Arnold Palmer, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You got those old school dudes, Bobby Jones and Ben Hogan. You know what I'm saying? That wore the knickers on the course.
So the future.
Yeah. So right. So Rory's got to be considered up there with those names now. I would say number one. I would say no, because you still got the man Tiger Woods looming.
Mm-hmm.
But right behind him, I would say most likely, my brother. I think he's right there with those guys. Congratulations to Rory McIlroy adding, I think, his 7th overall championship now with this green jacket, my brother.
So single-handedly, we could say he is the number one golfer in the world.
Oh, I would say no question at this point.
After this win.
Yeah, I would say so. Hard to argue that. To argue that. But guys, in the comments, if you think otherwise, please let us know.
Yeah.
And we could talk about it for sure, my brother.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. And that's a great win. Great win. Great performance. We want to jump to real fast, the NBA playoffs.
Yes, sir. Today being the last day of the regular season, folks. 10 of the 20 playoff seeds still not finalized. So, we got the seeds. We got the seeds in place right now, but they can still move after the few games today, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Great. Talk to
him. I believe that the NBA playoffs is going to be fantastic. I think we're going to see more superb and more action filled, action whooping, action blowouts. The fact that, and I want to touch on, let's switch to the Boston Celtics real quick. I want to give a shout out to Jason Tatum. I don't think people really understand. Kobe put it on a documentary of him recovering from a torn Achilles, and I just want to say that from looking at that, I've played sports a long time, and me and Seth have done the same. We played sports. I've never could say that I've torn my Achilles tendon, but I've watched people go through it. It is the number one sports injury.
It's a tough injury.
And I don't want to say number one, but it is one of the sports injuries that could put you out for a season, just like a torn ACL. It is a tough injury, and I remember watching, Kobe go through it in his healing process. Uh, Jason went through pretty much the same thing. He went through a healthy surgery, and he had to go through the process of getting his leg stronger. And I don't know how, I don't think too many people really understand what athletes put their bodies through and what they have to dedicate themselves to. It's not just signing a contract. Yes, you belong to a team. We understand that. But their injuries are real, folks, and they are human beings. And I just want to applaud Jason Tatum for, getting back on that court like he has. And now, not to throw shine all on him, because Jaylen Brown is phenomenal. He could be one of the players to win the MVP this season.
Mm-hmm.
He's been carrying the Boston Celtics. Hell of a job to the coaching staff as well. But to see Jason Tatum come back at this time, oh man, watch out, NBA world, because Boston Celtics, if they not on your mind to soar through these playoffs, then I don't know what is. Seth, what do you think?
I couldn't agree more, my brother. Real quick, Pop says hello. John Case in the house. Trey in the house. All Super right. Trucker and QT in the house. What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging with us once again. I think you're right, bro. It seems like there's been an uptick in Achilles injuries. We could talk about that another show. I wonder what the cause of that might be. You know, they say that calf strains sometimes lead to Achilles injuries, but who knows? The Celtics, they don't know who they're playing yet. That's to be determined. That's one of the slots to be determined. But you're right, brother. Jaylen Brown proved that he could carry the team with Tatum out. And now they're back together, and they're looking to get back to the promised land. So it should be fun to watch. It's crazy because no matter who they get, I don't think it's going to be an easy road.
No.
This NBA is stacked. In terms of parity, I think a lot of teams are very close to each other in terms of parity this year. So it's going to be a fun ride through the playoffs, my brother.
Yeah, and to all the fans out there, the NBA fans, get ready, because I don't think we're going to see anything that's going to be lackluster. I think it's going to be exciting. I think a lot of us that are NBA fans need to get your popcorn and get it ready, because it's going to be one hell of a playoffs. And as of right now, I'm going to go with my top Power 5 rankings as I speak right now.
Playoff Power 5?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. San Antonio Spurs is number 1. Detroit Pistons, number 2. The Boston Celtics, number 3. Number 4, the Denver Nuggets. Number 5, OKC. And honorable mention is the New York Knicks. So, again, when we just talked about the Celtics, we got the New York Knickerbockers that are going to come in here with a chip on their shoulder.
Knicks are playing great basketball to end the season as well, my brother. Can't knock them for that. They are doing their thing. Let's see.
You said, Seth, there's still more teams that might actually get in, because I believe, Seth, this is the last. This is it.
This is the last day of the season. But for example, we got the play-in tournament too. That's this week.
Okay.
So OKC, the number 1 seed, they don't have a challenger yet. That's to be determined. Same thing on the other side for Detroit. Cade Cunningham is back, by the way, folks.
Yes, he is.
Boston at the number 2 seed, they don't know who they're playing yet. The Spurs, the number 2 seed on the other side, they don't know who they're playing yet. If as it stands right now, the Knicks got the Raptors to open up. So that's a winnable series, in my opinion. The way the Knicks are playing, they should advance right past those guys. You got the Cavaliers playing Atlanta as well. That should be a good series. That seems like a pretty evenly matched series. LeBron's Lakers and the Houston Rockets, my brother.
Yeah.
If it's go time right now. Nuggets and Timberwolves, that rivalry continues. So it'll be fun to watch, my brother. It'll be fun to watch.
Could we say that the championship goes through the West this year again? And I know, Seth, that you're a Knicks fan. I know, my brother. I know.
Well, I think we have to say that. I think we have to.
Okay.
Because OKC, I think they're the team to beat. I mean, do you think anybody challenges them along the way to get to the finals? I mean,
it's just there's way too much talent in the West. I mean, the Denver Nuggets. I mean, we can say OKC with with if the Nuggets put their whole you know, their team together and do what they got to do. You know, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Wembanyama and the young San Antonio Spurs, y'all looking real good. I just don't think that y'all ready yet, man. You know, playoff basketball is different from the regular season, and you're gonna find out. You know, these guys, there's levels to this, and these guys know how to handle themselves. The coaching staffs know how to get busy. So I don't see San Antonio really going far. I could be wrong, but we'll see.
The talent will take them a long way, but you're right. When it comes down to it, crunch time, who's going to take over? Is Wemby ready to take it?
Correct.
Is he ready to roll? We'll see. Pop chimes in. He says, "You remember Michael Jordan breaking his foot and coming back playing in the same season?"
We remember Michael Jordan having the flu and Scottie Pippen having to carry him off. we seen all that, Pop. Listen, the great ones show up. The great ones show up always in the playoffs, and there's no excuses. They're getting paid. This is what it is. This is the ones that we put on a pedestal and put them in our top fives. This is what it's all about, folks. So this is the creme de la creme.
Yes, it is. And next week's episode, we'll be talking about playoff basketball. It won't be regular season anymore. We will be in the playoffs, my brother. The thing about it, the NBA, we'll be talking about playoff basketball for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
Because the NBA playoffs take a long time, folks.
It goes deep into June.
Yeah, yes, indeed. So we got all of April still to go. We got all of May, and we got June as well. For the icing on the cake, my brother. Anything else in the NBA you want to add?
No. That's pretty much it, Sess. I mean, just getting everybody. This is the time where people could try to get their star players healthy. Again, you mentioned Cade Cunningham. Welcome back, Cade. Especially with what he went through with his lung. And it's good to see him back. That's a future talent of the NBA. And just everybody just getting ready. Everybody knows this is it.
Knicks, let's go, baby. I got to tell you, watching the Knicks the last week, they're playing very good basketball, brother.
Yes, they are.
That two-man game with Jalen and Cat has been working to a T.
Yeah.
And the role players are playing their roles. It's been fun to watch. They're gelling at the perfect time. I don't want to get ahead of my skis here, but I'm hoping for a deep run from these Knicks. I hope so, my brother.
And so that's real quick.
Yeah.
Can we say that Mike Brown has simmered that locker room and they understand him and he understands them, his team. His team understands him and he understands the team. Could we say that they're used to him now?
I would say so. I would say so. Yeah. The thing about him that always worries me, that I've been saying on this show for a long time, is playoff basketball.
Okay.
He has proven to be able to get his teams to the playoffs, but he has not been able to get over that hump. We'll see what happens, my brother.
Yeah.
Let's see. John chimes in. He says, "Female NBA. What about that hot blonde? What's her name? I don't know what that means."
Oh,
I'm not sure. You get what you picking up what he's putting down there?
Oh my gosh. What's her name? She wanted. Oh God. I know. I have a feeling on what he said, but it would be great if you give, because I don't want to just throw out any names and disrespect any of the WNBA
Be more
females.
specific, John.
Yeah. So John, we need you to be more specific on who you're talking about, because we have a variety of the WNBA females that we can talk about, but you got to be more specific, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if he chimes in and lets us know, my brother. Anything else in the NBA before we move on?
That's it. That's it for now, Sess.
All right, bro. Let's take it to the square circle.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple good fights. Oh, Sophie Cunningham. That's who he's talking about. Yeah,
yes.
that's my girl, Sophie.
Sophie just signed another extension with the Indiana Fever, so she'll be playing with Caitlin Clark again.
Once again, she's like her enforcer.
Correct.
Some people say.
And she actually is on. She's doing very well. She's doing modeling and everything. She's on the Sports Illustrated shoot as well. She in one of the I think this year's copy.
Yep.
So she'll be there as well with a couple other basketball players. Sophie is definitely making her rounds. Shout out to Sophie Cunningham.
Yep. Her and MPC actually were shooting together. Ladies look great out there. Great job. Yep. So we'll keep an eye on that. WNBA, of course, all those ladies got nice raises this year.
Yes, they did.
So shout out to them. We'll keep you posted on that. Now we move on to the square circle, my brother. Tell them what we missed or what we saw in the boxing world this weekend.
Shout outs to the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
He's back.
The man stands at what, maybe 6'7", 6'8".
Mm-hmm.
He's a giant, but he is back, and he put on a dominant performance, unanimous decision, defeating Arslanbek Makhmadov. He gave him pretty much a good boxing lesson, and at the end of the day, Tyson really was feeling himself. Had a lot to say, looked into the crowd and pointed out Anthony Joshua and told him, "Yo, come get some. I'm ready for you." And for those who don't know, Anthony Joshua was in a horrific accident, and he is working himself back as we speak. In that accident, 2 of his friends passed away. So he's getting himself right mentally and physically. Anthony Joshua has been training with the current world heavyweight boxing champion and Usyk, and just getting his mind right. Joshua sat in the crowd and was like, "Listen, you can talk that all you want, but when I'm right, I'm coming for you." So he's saying, "Tyson, basically, you just blowing smoke right now, but it don't look like it." Tyson Fury understands what this is about. He knows that, hey, if I'm coming out of retirement and I'm boxing again, I'm coming for some straps. So this is strap season for Tyson Fury. Seth, what do you think about that?
It was fun to watch. I love when post-fight drama happens like that, because the fight, Tyson dominated the fight. So that wasn't much to watch. He stands 6'9", by the way. We shorted him an inch or two.
Power forward in basketball.
Yes, sir. And he called out Joshua, and I loved Joshua's response. Joshua got the mic and he goes, "I'm the boss now." He goes, I was chasing you for 10 years. Where were you?
Yeah.
Now you wait on me. When I'm ready, I'll let you know. And he knows that's a money fight. He knows that's what it is. But I think I'm with you 100%. He's got to get his mind right. He's got to get his body right, and physically, mentally, emotionally get himself right, because Tyson won't care. Tyson will knock his bum. He'll knock him out, And Joshua will be ready. Trust me, folks. He will be ready. It's going to be on his time. It's going to be fun to watch. That's going to be a major fight, my brother. I can't wait to see that one.
Deontay Wilder also called out Anthony Joshua.
Yes.
Joshua is at one of his fights as well.
Yeah.
So this lets you know, folks, Anthony Joshua is on his way back. He might just be back. He's just touching up on some things that he feels he needs to touch up on. But he's being called out by some big boxing giants.
Well, yeah.
Joshua does not forget. He keeps his receipts. He's ready. He's ready. Get it. Don't get it twisted. He's ready.
And by the way, that tells you all you need to know. When you're the one getting called out by everyone, that means you're the top dog.
That's right.
So they know where to butter their bread. You know what I'm saying? And that's Anthony Joshua. He's the man at the top right now.
Correct.
To me, Wilder has to do a little more, my brother. I know he won his last fight, but I would at least give him one more before he gets a title shot. No,
I'd be honest with you.
Maybe even more than that.
I respect Deontay Wilder when it comes to the square circle and boxing and stuff. I got to be real. He might be just possibly maybe 2 shots away from his career ending. I know. And this is, again, am I a doctor? No, I'm not. But we hype up a lot of this stuff, and then when we keep hyping it up and nobody's telling the truth to specific fighters and letting them know, listen, are you right? Are you really right? Physically and mentally, are you right? I don't know. I really don't know what's in store for Wilder in the future. I just know that he might be just that 1-2 power punch away. That we might just see the end of Wilder permanently. His conditioning didn't look right in his last fight, and he won. He won by a split decision, if I'm not mistaken. So it lets me know, when he gets in the ring with these fighters, the boxers, because Wilder is a brawler.
Yes, he's always had a problem with the technicians.
So how's he gonna handle things? So, but you know what? We need to see something exciting again from the heavyweight division. Right now, we have a lot of people chasing, titles right now. But is it titles that you should be chasing, or should you be chasing the number one spot?
That's right. Fury and Joshua, that's the number one heavyweight fight, I would say, right? I mean, at the moment. Would you say
Yeah,
is there a bigger one out there?
I mean, at the end of the day, Sess, they all have to go through Usyk. Usyk is that dude. He's the king of the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
And you could sit here and talk about who you want to fight next. I get it, but Usyk is the guy.
Does the Fury Joshua fight happen, and does the winner get Usyk? Is that how it goes down?
It's a possibility. I can see that happening. I can see the winner of a Fury or Joshua, or a Wilder or Joshua, they would move up to fight Usyk. Again, I think that Usyk and Joshua have some type of bond or friendship. So I don't know how serious that friendship is, but when it comes to boxing, and it's a business thing now. So, we don't know. We'll see. But none of them were ready for Usyk. Usyk is
that's your boy.
He's really the truth. And you know what? I don't even know. I won't even say that he's my boy, Says. I just say from watching him, he's up there with the Terrence Crawfords and all of them. He really is a masterful class in boxing. He understands it, studies it. He's a gym rat. These guys put that work in. You don't want to play with them. Real fast, I want to give a shout out to Conor Benn, who defeated Regis Prograis out of New Orleans by unanimous decision. He was on that card last Saturday night, and that was for a welterweight division. He's also called out Ryan Garcia, saying that he wants his belt back, and that Ryan is, basically telling Ryan, keep it warm for him because he's coming for you. So Conor Benn is a tough fighter. I just would like to see him work on his defense. I mean, I'm seeing way too many shots to the head, to the face, and he's looking like a straight, throwback from like the 1950s. Just getting hit all up in your head. You know what I'm saying? But depending on that one shot to win the fight, and I think that's the old school mentality is just you're not gonna last long in boxing, Conor. So you got to work on your defense. You are a rising star as we speak right now, but we'll see. Real quick, one more thing. I want to touch bases with this whole thing with Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas. I'm really looking forward to that fight. That's June 27th. These guys just keep throwing, shots at each other, and at the end, like they should, to promote the fight. We understand the business of it. I was talking to a couple of my, one of my boxing buddies whenever I want to, pick people's brains, and I just want to say that when I was talking to one of my boxing buddies, we were sitting there talking, and I just said, I think this was really going to be a good fight. And I said, hey, do you think Boots will really beat, Xander? He said, yeah, he really believes that Boots is a difference maker. He's a game changer. And I said, well, I feel that Boots is tough, and I feel that Boots has talent. I just don't know, like this. Sometimes you just feel like there's something's missing, and people might look at me crazy whenever I think about this and I talk about this stuff with boxing, but that's how much of a fan I am. I remember being told about Boots Ennis, and I started focusing more on his fights, and I was like, okay, he's good, but he's not going to beat Terrence Crawford. And then, there was times that, everybody kept trying to hype it up, and I was like, no, Terrence will destroy this guy. I still stand on that to this day. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to this fight June 27th at the Barclays, because it's going to be packed in New York City, baby. Get ready.
Nice, my brother. Nice. It should be a good year for boxing. I see a lot of good fights on the horizon this year, my brother. Anything else in the square circle?
No, that's about it, brother. That's it.
All right, brother. You got something else you want to talk about? Something that we labeled the quote-unquote podcast wars going on? Talk to the people about it?
Before I get to that,
talk to him.
Give a shout out to Jonic Sinner. He reclaimed the top spot, defeating Carlos Alcaraz to win the Monte Carlo Masters final.
And they're
Today.
trading those spots back and forth, those two.
Yes, and they just keep going back. But this is what me and you both know: they are tennis rivals, and it's not going to stop. It's incredible to watch these young guys, because we talk about 23, 24-year-old guys that are just making lots of money, but they literally are tennis's best in the world, and they're trying to stake their claim in the history books as well. So. I believe it was in 5 sets. The final one was 6-3 to go Sinner's way, and just again a shout out to Yannick. That's why I'm glad I brought this up, Sess, because that we've talked about these guys. Do you really stick with in your mind that Sinner is number one, or are we just gonna abandon Carlos Alcaraz?
No, you can't abandon the youngster. They're gonna trade it back and forth. It's like Nadal and Federer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like before
back and
them,
forth.
it's like Sampras and whoever he was with, and Agassi. Agassi, yeah. You know what I mean? That's what we have with these two young guys right now. So it's gonna be fun to watch. They'll probably trade that number one spot back and forth for a while.
Yeah.
Probably for the next decade, to be honest with you, if their bodies hold up. Bango 8 says salute family. What up, Bango? Welcome in, my brother. Welcome in.
Welcome in, Bango.
Yeah, man. So tennis is always fun to watch, my brother. Anything else?
No. Let's jump to the podcast wars. Because we have a podcast, and it's all about sharing the love, folks. To all our Village Legend viewers and listeners, this is all love that you guys tune in and show us support. And we can never ever get above our bridges. We will always remain humble. We love talking about sports. This is what we love, me and my man Sess, and we will continue to do this. These other guys that are out here right now, bumping heads. It's crazy, former NBA player Steven Jackson went on YouTube, or he was talking on I would say it was YouTube, and he had made some comments. He's, for all those who don't know, him and Matt Barnes have a podcast, All the Smoke, and is doing very well. They're doing very well. Matt Barnes had made some comments about Stephen A. Recently, saying that he's tap dancing and with the Republican Party and this and that, and then that stuff has been been talked about amongst both of them. Steven Jackson came out and also addressed some things on what he said on YouTube or on social media, and was saying, hey, basically y'all need to stop hating. To big up y'all platform and y'all brand, you need to do XYZ. Don't be hating on us. And again, why he is expressing himself, because there was jokes about Matt Barnes when he was talking to Stephen A, how they were sitting there smoking blunts and smoking weed. So again, that lets y'all know where their mentality is, that they're not fazed by a lot of this nonsense. They're basically telling everybody, hey, look at our numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what we're doing. We got contracts. We have our platform, and our brand is exploding. So yeah, instead of y'all trying to come at us or talk crazy, come and talk to us, and we'll show you how to do this, son. That's basically what they're saying. So I'm not mad at that. I just would like to see everybody win, because it's great to see everybody win. There are secrets to success, and believe you and me and Seth, we watch, and we want to learn, and we want to see things too. But we ain't here to bash nobody else's podcast, because that's the last thing we're trying to do. These are heavy hitters. In our minds, these are the heavy hitters, so they're allowed to do that. I just feel that, when it comes to the Pivot podcast, and when it comes to All the Smoke, when it comes to 4th and 1, when it comes to the Stephen A show, hey, it's all entertainment and we love it. But hey, fellas, do we really got to go at each other? I mean, Sess, what we doing here, Sess? Let's talk about it. What's up, Sess?
Listen, you talk. You know what it is? We forget these are competitors. These guys were all athletes who thrived on competition. So now they're in the podcast space. It's no different. They're
Yeah.
fighting for that number one spot. And sometimes things get a little heated. Things get a
Yes.
little personal. You know, Stephen A. being the, what would you call him, the veteran of all these guys, been on TV the longest probably, or streaming the longest, whatever the
And
case
he
might be.
expressed that he's a real
He always
journalist,
says
you know.
He always reminds you of that. But also, and I don't know if it's just me, maybe you feel like this as well, but he's also, to me, the one that's the most wishy-washy of all of them. He's the one, you know what I mean? Like I feel like Stephen A. His politician side is starting to come out a little bit, where he goes kind of plays both sides of the fence, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And he has political aspirations, so it be what it be. But let these young cats live. They're doing their thing, Don't get mad at them for putting some pressure. You know what I mean? Fun to watch. I enjoy all the shows, to be honest with you. I enjoy all those guys. They all have a different twist, a different way to do things.
Yes, each one of them have a different style.
They do,
and that's the thing that I like about each and every one of those podcasts, that they all have their own style and they finesse things differently. And I think we need to really pay attention to that. It's cool to sit there and listen to it for maybe 10 minutes if you can. It's something that we like. Oh wow, I didn't notice. I like these guys. These guys, they were monsters on the court. You might have hated them when they were playing, but when you sit there and listen to them and say what, ask them, see how they ask questions and stuff like that, it's a game changer. I think that's pretty dope.
Absolutely. Let's check in with the fans here. They got some stuff to say here. Let's see. Banger says Stephen A. getting a lot of smoke lately. Ever since he got his money, the hate. Stephen A. says ever since he got his money, the hate is getting bigger.
That's normal.
Yeah, I mean, that comes with the territory.
The territory.
John K says, I love Britney Spears. QT says $25 million for Dawn Staley paycheck. Dawn Staley got that last year, that extension, $25 million.
Oh, right? They might give her more.
Yeah, she's phenomenal, coach. Phenomenal. What else? Let's see. I guess that's about it. So yeah, man, like you said, there's space in the podcast space. There's room for everybody. There's enough eyes and ears for everybody involved. But also, I will say, sometimes it's almost like clickbait. Sometimes, right? They want to start a little drama to get the numbers up sometimes, and I can't hate on that at all. Also, but as long as at the end of the day it's all peace and love, it's all good.
Yes, I mean, and that's what maybe we're seeing it different, but when they off the air. Yeah. They all in the back smoking their cigars and smoking they things that rich people do, having and having popping they champagne and all that other good stuff. Listen, sometimes it can all be an act. Hopefully, hey, that's just what it is. But hey, let's just all keep rising to the top. At the end of the day, we don't got no time for no negativity, no pessimism. Let's get it rocking,
enough
man.
of that going around.
Let's get it rocking, because enough is enough, you know?
There's enough of that in the world going around, What else, my brother? Anything else you want to add to that?
You want to touch on the WrestleMania or no, Seth?
We can talk about WrestleMania. WrestleMania is next week from Las Vegas. 2-night event for the WWE. TKO, of course, owns them.
Okay.
Not as many people attending as last year. The numbers are down. So they decided to spice things up. They decided to bring in Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, the podcast host, another podcast space host who has his own sports show and got his aid this past year, got paid. So they brought him in. The fans are revolting. The fans hate it. The other wrestlers in the back, rumor is that they hate it too, because they brought this guy off the streets. Well, not off the streets. He's obviously a popular dude. He's been in wrestling before, but they brought him in to spice up the ticket sales. But he's doing it in a weird way. He's playing the bad guy, and he's like pretty much dogging the entire product. He's like, WrestleMania stinks. You guys are lucky I'm here. Focus on night 1, night 2. Ain't nobody watching night 2. This kind of thing. So he's playing the bad guy, and he's doing a good job, but he's not getting a great response. They actually knocked the ticket prices down 25% until Monday because they're trying to fill those empty seats, my brother.
What says real quick, my brother, real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
It's a domino effect with Mr. Pat McAfee because he just got canceled from ESPN too. This is his show has been canceled, folks.
Listen, one of the performers, CM Punk, picked up the mic last week on Monday Night Raw, and he kind of spoke for the rest of the guys in what they call an unscripted or a shoot style promo, and he called him Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, he called him. So do with that what you will. So there's animosity there. Listen, when it gets real between those guys in the trenches and behind the scenes, that's when you want to watch, folks, because that makes it more exciting to see what happens when you're really out there. You know, so that should be a good time. We'll recap WrestleMania next episode. It's going to be a 2-night event from Las Vegas. We'll tell you what's going on with that as well. We'll keep you posted. Anything you want to add to that, my brother?
No, that's it, my brother.
Let's see. We did not mention the greats who wore number 43 today, so we'll do that real quick. One of the few guys who had a post-career doing shampoo commercials, Troy Polamalu, the great safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers, wore number 43. You brought this to my attention. Great running back, third down back deluxe, Darren Sproles wore number 43 in his running back days. And shout out to the NASCAR and the race car drivers. Richard Petty, the King Richard Petty, 7-time champion, also wore number 43, my brother. Real quick, I'm going to touch on baseball real quick, my brother, just to give everybody a recap. It's still April. It's still early. Mets and Yankees both struggling. Mets are not looking good since Juan Soto went down. They are not picking up the pace for him. What else is new, my brother?
Yeah.
The new guys are finding out it's harder to be a Met than to be any other professional, be on any other professional team. I think in all the sports, I would say.
Yeah.
Yankees, I'm not going to leave you out. Yankees have lost 5 in a row. It's not looking good. Aaron Boone is looking for them to pick up the pace and finish off games. They're letting the lead slip, and they're not hitting late in the games. I think the Yankees steal signs. I think they've been doing it for years, my brother. That's an episode for another day.
Yeah.
They're struggling right now with 5 in a row. Christian Yelich leaves his game today with a hamstring injury for the Brewers. George Springer fractured his toe for your Toronto Blue Jays, my brother. So let's see when he comes back. Rest in peace to Phil Garner, former Major League infielder and manager. We know him, of course, from managing, who did he manage? The Astros to the pennant in 2005, I believe. Long time manager there. Rest in peace. I'll give you the quick birthdays before we wrap it up. Happy birthday to, would have been 74 years old. He died young. Alexis Arguello, the great boxer.
Great boxer.
Yep, would have been 74 today. Died back in 2009. Shout out to him and his family. The great left winger, New York Rangers legend Adam Graves turns 58 years old today.
Okay.
And one of our favorite New York Mets, just for his grittiness and toughness. Doesn't get a lot of accolades, but he did a great job for us when he was here. Catcher Paul LaDuca turns 54 years old today. Shout out to Paul. Hopefully,
Big Paul,
check out our show. I think you'd like it, my brother. Village Legends Podcast. That's it on the birthdays, my brother. We're a little early today. We're at the 40-minute mark. Let me see real quick before we say goodbye. Check in with the fans real quick. Pivot is Class A. Yep, Pivot is a Class A show. It's good. There is room, but just need support one another. That's from Trey. QT says not only rich people, everybody like that paper. That's right. Everybody do love that paper. Banger says, wow, I didn't know that. That's what we're here for, Banger. Let you guys know what we know. All right, my brother. Episode 43 is in the books. Talk to him.
Thank you. Thank you again for tuning in. The VL community, we appreciate you. Everybody, once again, have a safe and great week. And as always, think sports.